What's good, everybody? I'm Gabe,
I'm Marco.
and this is the analysis number 2. And we're previewing the Coppa Italia final.
Along with the Premier League, Arsenal versus City.
Juve versus Napoli. And Arsenal versus City today. That's a big game.
That's a really big game.
And the Premier League's officially back. But going straight into it, how did Juve get to the final?
Well, we saw from the first game, they tied with Milan 1-1. That was back in March, right?
Yeah.
So we knew that Milan had to win, or else it was over. That's why when Juve versed them last week, it was a 0-0 tie, and Juve went through to the finals.
Juve played like shit.
Yeah, they did. Let's be honest, they did.
And don't get me wrong, our predictions were way off. Ronaldo played horrible.
Ronaldo played really bad. Dybala was the best player by far on the field.
Really? I don't think so.
I think so. Well, either for Juve or Bentancur. Bentancur was nice.
Well, let's go. Let's get straight into it. So, Juve did advance. They tied 0-0. They went on in aggregate with away goals, but I just think this was a really horrible game.
Because that tie should have been a big win for Juve because Milan got a red card in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it should have been just maybe 4-0, 5-0 for Juve.
Well, I think let me be honest, dude. I think the main thing is that Juve and Milan just looked really unfit.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised. There was a play where Ronaldo was sprinting.
Oh, and Romagnoli.
No, Kiar got to the ball before him.
Oh, it was him? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Oh, no.
This is how you know this guy. They've all been in quarantine because Ronaldo 5 months ago would have got that.
100%.
And not only that, I just think besides the fitness, I'm not gonna obviously bash players like Ronaldo and Dybala and Douglas Costa, who I thought was poor too.
Yeah.
Also, Sarri just made for me the wrong substitutions.
Yeah.
The only sub I thought he made well was Bernadette.
But he even said it. He said he put 3 players on way too quickly because he got excited. That's what he said.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think Juve, I thought I was gonna expect something different because let's be honest, they've been freaking shit the whole season.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was gonna be a turnaround for them.
They honestly just played the same way.
They did.
And for Milan, honestly, their best player got a red card.
But to be fair, I didn't really expect anything from Milan. I don't want to, not to be rude, but I didn't expect anything coming from Milan.
I mean, I just thought it was crazy when Ronaldo missed that penalty. It was an unlucky penalty. I thought he hit it well, but he hit the post. But then Rebic gets that red card right away, and that's Milan. For me, that was Milan's game's over.
Yeah, do you think with Rebic on the field they would have won? Maybe.
I'll be honest with you. I think they could have caused problems. I know Milan aren't the best side, but come on, Juve this season, that midfield is horrible. Yeah. I actually thought the only decent player in the midfield for Juve was Bentancur. I thought, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he actually played a pretty good game.
No, neither am I. He worked so hard.
I would say the positives. Let's start with some positives and negatives for Juve. I would say that there's not so many positives because it was a really rusty game. I do think Bentancur in the middle on the right side, he does very well. He links up with Dybala really well. I think they know how to play with each other. I was also really surprised. I thought Danilo had a pretty good game.
I know. I think Juve's best aspect for that game was their defense.
I think the three, Bonucci, De Ligt, and Sandro had a really good game.
Danilo played really well too. Bonucci, De Ligt, and I think Alexandro for the defense was the best player.
He didn't do anything
really.
But actually, I think the man of the match, I would say, was De Ligt. I thought he had a really good game.
I think so too.
I don't think he really did it. I think he put everything right on the field. For Milan, I actually thought they performed pretty well, in the circumstances that they had. I'll be honest with you, I expected Juve to score a lot, but with this whole fitness issue going on now with all the players not 100% fit, I thought Milan did pretty well. I thought Kessie had a really good game. Bonaventura, I thought, did very well. Benacer, as always.
Yeah.
And I thought the 2 center backs were brilliant. Kiar, I think, made 4 good clearances.
Yeah. Other
than that, I think they did well. Chanalangu, how you pronounce it. I thought he needs to go for Milan for me. I don't think.
I thought Donnarumma did well. He didn't really have to make a lot of saves, but I think he did well for what he had to do. And he's a big guy. I think that's what put Ronaldo off because Ronaldo, if you saw the penalty, he
Yeah,
tried to put it really wide because he knows Donnarumma is like what 6'5", 6'6", 6'7".
he's a big
So
guy.
he has a big reach. So Ronaldo knew he had to put it in the corner.
Uh-huh.
That's probably why he hit the post.
I also think the red card did play a big part because I think Rafael Leao from Milan, he's a freaking baller, man.
No,
Like
he
that
is.
guy can play. And
Yeah.
I think if he came on in place of Chananoglu and played up top with Rebic, I think they would have done really
Well,
well.
let's talk about who wasn't there, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh, Zlatan.
If he was there, I think, and no red card for Rebic, I think that's it. I think it was Milan's game because the way Juve played, it looked like
I think
they
Milan also did play well in the first leg. Like
no, they did.
I think overall, I'll be honest with you, in both legs, I think Milan deserved
Well,
it.
didn't Ronaldo get that late penalty
Yeah.
to tie it up? So yeah, there we go. I
Listen,
think Milan played
Juve.
better.
I think the whole point is that Juve really they need if they want to win the Champions League and Serie A, they need to perform well.
Yeah,
They've been so bad this whole season, but I do think the sign of a champion is like when you get into that big game, like today when they play Napoli, they need to show their class.
they do 100%.
So
So
I
let's talk
think
about
that's
the
pretty
Napoli
much
Inter game.
Napoli Inter was a whole different game. I thought that was a really good game in my opinion.
I thought it was a better game.
Napoli ended up going through. It was 1-1. I predicted that. I said 1-1 Napoli,
Yeah.
and I knew they were going to go through. This guy said 2-1
2-1
Inter,
Inter.
which was close.
Well, Inter played so much better in the first
Yeah.
half. You have to say
Let's
that.
start. Yeah, let's start in terms of the first half. I thought Inter played really
They
well.
did
in the first
100%.
half.
Conte knew what he was doing in the first half.
Yeah.
The players knew that
I'm
they were
really
doing.
happy that Eriksson played in that number 10 role.
But he didn't do well. I'm
You
sorry.
don't think so?
No.
I thought first half he did pretty.
From what I saw, like he messed up a lot of key passes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did in the
Yeah.
second half mostly.
So if we go here, I'm gonna go to the match statistics. However you pronounce that. So basically, I would say that in the first half, Napoli didn't really do anything. You
No,
know
it
what?
didn't.
You know what really is a change for me that I know a lot of people have noticed, especially in Italy, is that Napoli used to be that side that would like play possession, come at you, like score like 4 or 5 goals. Like now under Gattuso, they're not like that. They're like sit back, counterattack. They got fast players up top,
Yeah.
and I do think their back line's solid as fuck.
But
man.
what do you
Like,
think
I'm not even gonna lie.
Gattuso said to them in the second, like in halftime? Because he definitely said
Well,
something to them.
listen, in the first half, Inter played better, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But what was the score in the first half? 1-1.
What was 1-1?
Insigne, listen, Ospina made a bad mistake on the goal, but I'll be honest with you,
That pass he made.
Ospina was probably the best.
But
player
that
on the
pass he
field.
made to Insigne
Yeah.
to give it to Mertens, that was insane.
So Inter, I thought, did very well. Especially, there was a surprise to me that Inter, what Conte did really smart was he saw how Hisai isn't a natural left back,
Mhm.
and in my opinion, Hisai is the worst player on the field.
No, he was.
Candreva was destroying him.
He was, but
He really was. And not only that, I noticed that Lukaku was always on the right side,
yeah,
drifting wide and dragging Koulibaly out on the left.
Yeah.
So Lautaro and what's his name, Ashley Young would come inside on the cross. And there was almost a point how they scored like that. Candreva got the ball through on the right, and he was looking for a cross, but he took a shot instead. But I thought Inter were doing really well in the first half, and I thought they were causing Napoli a lot of problems. I think Napoli have found their two best center back pairings with Koulibaly and Maximovic. I think they're really good there.
Yep.
I do think they need a left back though, because Hisai, Rui, and Gulam just aren't good enough.
Well, yeah, Rui, I thought he played well last season, the beginning of last season, but just he hasn't shown anything that he should be the starting left back. But neither of them are. They shouldn't. Any of them should not start.
Well, in terms of second half, you know,
it was all Napoli's game.
You
saw
Napoli
from
just
the beginning.
Napoli just played well. I thought defended well, but honestly, I think the main thing of this game is that Mertens is the top goal scorer of Napoli's history. How crazy is that? We went from Maradona to Hamsik and now Dries Mertens. And this is a crazy story because when Mertens first came to Napoli, he was always on the bench, I remember.
Yeah, I know.
And when Sarri in that 2016-17 season put him as that, like false nine, but he would always score a lot. He scored 28 goals. Like, I think that's really what made Mertens a really good player.
That was the season that changed him.
Yeah, and, I think it's phenomenal, Mertens' story, how he's been consistent ever since that season. Like, everyone has said, like, is he going to perform? Is he going to do this?
And he does.
He has, and I really do think Napoli is honestly going on. They were on a decline in the beginning of the season, but now they're going up, in my opinion. I heard stuff how Mertens and Koulibaly are going to renew their contracts for another year, which is big for Napoli because I think they're their two best players.
Yeah.
Insigne for me is the captain, the leader, and everything, but Mertens and Koulibaly, like, they are the two guys you want to build your team.
So who do you think was the best player in the field for Inter Napoli?
Okay, so
I think we both agreed that it was Insigne.
Really? I was saying Insigne, Ospina, or Koulibaly.
Well, yeah, Ospina in the fact that he kind of saved in the game in some aspects.
If I have to pick one, I'm gonna say Koulibaly because I'll be honest with you, Koulibaly really shut down Lautaro and Lukaku.
No, I know.
Lukaku I thought did well, but Lautaro I think was just where was he the whole game? Was he in Barca just thinking about that transfer?
I don't know.
I thought when Sanchez came on, he did very well. He provided energy. He did that back heel.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that
Ericsson.
too? Yeah, I thought Inter did pretty well, but like, you know what the problem is? What I said in our last video is that Lukaku and Lautaro for me are not big game players.
They don't show up in big games.
They don't show up, and it showed it there. Listen, don't get me wrong. Once again, they haven't played for a while. I understand that, but Mertens put one in the net, and Lautaro and Lukaku didn't.
Do you think it was an undeserved win? Because after the game, you saw Conte. I don't know if you saw it. He said that was undeserved because Inter played better. They created more chances. I can't say I disagree with him, but at the same time,
no, I don't agree with Conte. I'll be honest.
But at the same time, he's right and wrong because he's right. They did create more chances, but who was more clinical in the end?
I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, Conte's a sore ass loser. Like, I don't get me wrong. He's a really good coach, but there's always after a big game, this guy complains.
But he's used to.
He complained about the transfers and how he didn't have the players he wanted. Like, bro, you bought Lukaku. He didn't buy. You bought Ericsson.
Yeah.
You bought Young. He bought Godin. But he doesn't even use Godin.
He's used to winning, though.
I know he's used to winning, but for me, Napoli, this was not undeserved. Napoli just did the right thing.
No,
they knew they had to sit back. They had a counterattack, and they did. They did their job. They won. So now let's preview today's game at 3 o'clock. Napoli versus Juve, the Coppa Italia final. We got it up here. This is, for us, the biggest game of the week. So
let's talk about lineups.
Yeah.
Let's talk about lineups. Both teams are playing a 4-3-3. Napoli. Merits in goal. How do you feel about that?
I think Merritt's solid.
I think
he makes mistakes, but Ospina's going to be a big miss, but he's suspended. What can you do?
That back line, though, with Napoli, with Di Lorenzo, Maximovic, Koulibaly, Mario Rui, that's one not to mess with.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
In front of them, Fabian, Deme, and Zielinski. That's a really good midfield. I think it's
really important that Fabian's playing.
Me too. He didn't really have a good game when he came on, though.
I know, but for me, he's their best.
He is. Without a doubt. But Deme had a really good game too, and he deserves to be starting. Zielinski as well.
And up top, who is it?
Up top, Callejon, Mertens, and Insigne. You know that. That's a very fast attack, very dangerous attack. They link up so well together. In my opinion, they really link up like the best in Serie A.
So for Juve, I got Buffon in goal. Bonucci in the back, Danilo, Sandro in the back, Matuidi on the left side, Khedira in the middle, and Bentancur on the right.
I don't know how I feel about that midfield.
I don't really like that midfield.
Neither.
But any of Juve's midfielders are bad. Then you got Ronaldo on the left, Dybala in the middle, and Cuadrado on the right, which I think is better.
Cuadrado on the right is really good in my opinion.
I always see this happening with Juve when they play Cuadrado on the right. It turns out to be a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
It goes the four in the back. Matuidi goes as a left-sided midfielder. Khedira and Bentancur in the middle.
And Dybala drops.
No, Cuadrado drops on the right. And Dybala and Ronaldo are up top. But obviously Dybala's underneath Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah.
But, so let's get right into this. Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I think Juve has it. Like I think Juve they want it more, in my opinion, because they're coming off a season that they didn't do well. They in Champions League they're not doing well. They're losing 1-0 to Lyon. I think they have something to lose. They have something to lose. Napoli, on the other hand, they have nothing to lose. And
You think?
I don't because all right, they have a shaky season, but what do they have to lose? What place are they in Serie A?
6.
Yeah, they have nothing to lose. They're gonna go all in for it, but I think Juve has something to lose, and they don't want to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think Juve's gonna win.
Right. Well, what I think Napoli's winning. I'll be honest with you. Listen, I think Napoli is going to win this game for 3 reasons. My first reason is, like you just said, they have nothing to lose. All Napoli's in right now is the Champions League, and they're not favorites against Barca, but I know they're going to put on a good game.
Yeah.
But I do think that Napoli, with them having nothing to lose, if they win this Coppa Italia for me, their season has changed. And I'll tell you why. This goes to my second reason. Gattuso has transformed this team. He's brought heart and soul and everything. Like I I think when Ancelotti left, they weren't performing still well when he was coaching, but now I really do think they're together. And the third reason is Koulibaly is fit and back. I think he's their key man. When Koulibaly is at his best, this team is at their best.
Yeah.
I know Mertens, Insigne, Zelinski, but they're great, but for me, Koulibaly is the guy for this team. He's their best player, in my opinion. He's the guy he's their Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
And I think Napoli is going to win this game because they're better. They have a better midfield than Juve. And I'll be honest with you, their attack is they've played together longer than Juve's attack.
Yeah.
I think that could really be a difference. The back line, I think, is equal to Juve's because, listen, Juve's the best team in Italy, but right now this season, they haven't shown it. So I do think Napoli can win this game. And Napoli did beat Juve in February.
Yeah.
I remember. And they put on a really good game.
Coming off the game from Milan, do you think Ronaldo has something to prove?
Yes. This is what I think is going to happen. My scoreline prediction, I'm going 1-1, and it's going to penalties. And I think Napoli's going to win.
I don't know. I see either maybe 1-0 or 2-0. I don't know. I really don't see Napoli scoring.
Remember, I think, I'm not too sure, but I think if it goes after 90 minutes, it's penalties.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the players have the legs for extra time. So what I think is that Ronaldo's going to get on the score sheet.
No, he definitely
I'll be honest, I think he's pretty pissed off of how he played last time. And I think a goal from someone like Mertens or Insigne for Napoli, and then it goes to penalties. And I think Napoli is going to win on penalties.
Well, at the same time, they do have 5 subs. So even if it does go long enough, Pjanic might come on. Who else do they have?
Not a big fan of Pjanic.
No, neither am I. I'm not a big fan.
They have Douglas Costa, who's going to start.
Bernardeschi. When Douglas Costa and Bernardeschi come on, I feel like Douglas Costa and Bernardeschi are the best when they're subs. When they're subs, they just bring so much to the game because their speed, their strength, like their ability to beat a man 1v1. That's gonna probably take Juve.
That could
further up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think Napoli's gonna win. He's got Juve, so as you see, he's got Juve right here. I got Napoli here.
We actually didn't plan that out.
So, yeah, we didn't plan that out. So, the next big game is Arsenal versus City. I'm so hyped that the Prem is back, but the only annoying thing is that we got 2 good games going on at the same time. First of all, let's just go right into this. Who do you think is going to win this game?
Well, I think Man City.
Really?
Because who did Arsenal lose to in preseason? Who was that team?
Brentford.
Come on. I don't care if it was preseason. You don't lose a game to Brentford. And they almost put their full lineup in too.
Nah, but I'll be honest with you. Arsenal just have a thing of always losing against teams like that.
Well, let's look at the lineups.
It's a friendly.
Let's look at the lineups.
Yeah.
For Man City, obviously Ederson's in goal.
Mm-hmm.
They have Kyle Walker in the right, Fernandinho and Laporte in the middle, and Benjamin Mendy, who's a little shaky sometimes.
I don't like Mendy. I think he's not a good player.
Yeah, sometimes. Then they have De Bruyne, Rodri, and Gundogan, who that's a really good midfield in my opinion. And up top they have Mahrez on the right, Aguero up top, and Sterling on the left.
That's a good lineup.
So for me, that's a lineup that you really can't beat.
I think. Listen, don't get me wrong about City. Don't get me wrong about Aguero, Mahrez, Sterling, De Bruyne. That back line is, for me, not good enough, though. Fernandinho isn't even a center back.
I know, and he does so well in there.
And Mendy literally is not a good left back. I think we've seen that for the past 2 years. Walker and Laporte, I think, are good, and Ederson's sometimes.
You know why I think Man City's gonna win? Because they might put up so many goals against Arsenal. Because if you see the lineup, which you have on right now, for Arsenal's defense, read it out, and tell me if that's a better defense than Man City.
So we got Leno, David Luiz, Pablo Mari. I'm not sure if he's gonna start though, because he's new. Bellerin, Tierney, who I want to see. I heard this guy's good.
Mm-hmm.
You got Xhaka in the middle, Ceballos in the middle, Ozil, Aubameyang, their best player, Pepe, and Lacazette.
See, when you look at it from the top down, that's a really good team starting from the top for Arsenal.
Yeah.
But when you go into like the back line and maybe like Xhaka is a little shaky, I think that's what's gonna make Arsenal lose.
So your predictions, you got City.
Yeah. I think 3-0.
I'm gonna go cheeky here. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Nah, okay.
I'll be honest with you.
No way.
I do think Arsenal with Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, and Ozil, they can really like cause problems in that back line. But with that, David Luiz and Bellerin.
That's what I'm saying.
And I just think they're gonna concede.
I think 2 is too low for Man City in this game. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but you have to remember, Man City concede a lot.
Yeah, but that Arsenal defense I just laugh at that. I don't know.
And Arteta knows Guardiola well.
Yeah, I know.
That's a big advantage. Yeah, but I personally think this is going to be a really good game because both teams play so attacking.
Yep.
And another thing is that it's the first game, the fitness. Aguero, for me, up top, he isn't the most fittest player.
Yeah,
I think I actually thought Guardiola was going to play Jesus instead, but Jesus is not a good finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game, but I got a 2-2 draw.
I got 3-0 City.
That's mainly about that. Our next topic covers what happened yesterday. Bayern are Bundesliga champions. What else is freaking new?
Well, at the start of the season, I thought it was going to be Dortmund. They were just flying
never. I always had Bayern, and I'll tell you why. Because Dortmund just are not fucking consistent.
But Dortmund looks so good up top. Like, in the beginning of the season, they looked so good. They looked so good.
Well, they didn't.
And then they got Haaland, and Sancho was playing amazing, and then what happened? They choked.
Well, okay, so yesterday Bayern did beat Werder Bremen 1-0, a goal from Lewandowski. Let's talk about that ball from Boateng.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Oh my God. Yo, Jerome Boateng gets this hate all the time about how he got crossed up from Messi. This guy, for me, I would take him at my favorite team. I'm not announcing that yet.
Neither am I.
But my favorite team would definitely suit Boateng. My guy is slow, but he's so composed on the ball. He just needs a fast center back next to him, and he has David Alaba next to him. And another thing, Alphonso Davies broke a speed record. What was it? Do you know?
Wait, no, I saw it. Hold on.
Man is a beast. He got a red card, but other than that, this guy is, for me right now, the best left back in the world. Can you agree on that? Like Robertson, I know Robertson.
22.7 miles per hour.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That is insane.
That's insane.
Imagine playing against him.
Who
was the right wing? Whoever that right winger was, bro, you probably got blown away. But I think Alphonso Davies has a right to be one of the best left backs in the world. Right now.
He does.
Like Robertson for me still could be the best, but Davies is up there.
Didn't he win Bundesliga Rookie of the Year or something like that?
I think he did.
Yeah, I mean, he deserved that.
Maybe him or Haaland deserves it. But Bayern won a goal from Lewandowski. I'll be honest with you, I'm happy with Bayern winning the title. I know everyone's saying, listen, Bayern wins every year. This is not Bayern's fault. For me, this is down to Dortmund always choking every single year. They choke so much. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about, Dortmund. Because, you can't just produce such good players like Haaland, Sancho, Throgan Hazard, what's his name? They have a guy in the midfield.
Well, they have Witzel, too.
They have Witzel. They have Emre Can, Dahoud, Hakimi, Royce.
A team like that.
That's a title-winning team. But I'll tell you what the thing is. Dortmund sell their players every single year. They're definitely going to get rid of Sancho. And they got rid of Pulisic last summer.
And then they're going to get rid of Haaland soon. Not soon, but in the years to come.
I'll be honest with you, give Haaland a year and he's gone.
Yeah, no. He needs a bigger team.
This is the problem. Congrats to Bayern once again. I don't know. What is that? They're like 8th Bundesliga in a row or 9th?
I think.
Let's search it up.
Well, don't they have one more than Juve?
I'm not too
Because
sure.
Juve has 8 Serie A's, right? And I think Bayern has either one less or one more.
All I know is that they could do the treble this year, Bayern. Yeah, Bayern have won their 8th successive Bundesliga title in a row. So yeah, that tops off the Bundesliga. I guess you could say Bayern are champs, and now the race is just for what top 4 Champions League.
So last game we're gonna preview is Real Madrid versus Valencia tomorrow.
Actually, before that, let's talk about Barca.
Oh yeah,
Barca won 4-0 against Mallorca.
I predicted that for nothing.
You got that. Yeah. Messi, for me, just looks freaking shaving the beard. He looks on form, man. Yeah, and they won 2-0 yesterday. What I have to say about Barca is what I've watched over these past 2 games is, number one, Messi is just a freaking monster.
He's a key player,
obviously, he's the best player in the world, him and Ronaldo. I like to put them in different categories. I think they're in their 2 separate plans. They're amazing. What I can say about Barca, though, is that their midfield looks really weak.
Yeah, it does. 100%.
De Jong. Let's see who started yesterday in midfield. I completely. I'll be honest. I watched half. The second half. So you had Busquets, Rakitic, and Arthur. Which all 3 of them are good, but I'll be honest with you, the passing's really slow in the middle.
That's you can see that, right? Yeah, 100%.
I do think Firpo had a really good game yesterday. I thought he was one of their best. He had an assist, and I think that's a good position for Barca to strengthen because Jordi Alba's getting old.
Yeah, I know.
And they're gonna need someone.
Well, Griezmann up top, he's not doing anything.
Man. What the hell is going on?
You can just see from the rating there. I don't know what's going on with him.
Ansu Fati, man, that guy is good. He's a young talent. I think he's gonna be. You never know. I think they don't even need to get Neymar. Just build on the future of him.
Yeah.
And get Lautaro up there, Messi, Fati, and
so what do you do with Griezmann?
Good. I would get rid of Griezmann. I'm sorry. I don't think Griezmann suits Barca.
What do you do with Suarez coming back?
I think Suarez is coming to an end. I would have him actually on the bench.
So I think you would sell Suarez and Griezmann.
I think Suarez is smart enough to know himself, though. Like, he's been getting injured every year. And I think if he plays a role on the bench and comes on for, like, Lautaro, he does a job.
But you know him. He's not the type of player that would be like, oh, okay, I'm fine with coming off the bench. I don't know. He wants to start. He wants to be the key player. He wants to be the key player up top. You know that. Yeah. That's Suarez's mentality. So in that case, I think he should move. He should switch teams.
He wants to go to the MLS, I heard. Finish his career there.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Barca won. I do think if Barca are to win La Liga, which I think they will, it's down to Messi.
Yeah.
He just cannot get injured. Nothing can happen to him. He's like the key to this team. He's the key to Barca. I think once Messi retires, Barca really needs to seriously think of who they're gonna build their team around.
Yeah.
But in terms of the 2 matches they had, the 4-0, I thought they played well. 2-0, for me it seemed a comfortable win, but at the same time they looked very tired, which is normal. I'm pleased with how Barca played, but I just don't think they're favorites for Champions League this year.
No, I obviously
said that. when you lose to Roma and Liverpool from those comebacks, I don't think you can be favored.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like you said, I have to agree with you. I think Bayern is the favorite.
Bayern's the favorite for Champions League.
Not even Juve, man. But I don't know what's wrong with you.
All right, so let's not get off topic from La Liga. Real Madrid beat Eibar 3-1, and I think Real Madrid looked freaking amazing in that first half.
Well, the lineup they're putting up against Valencia is a very strong lineup, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They have Courtois up top. Courtois in goal. They have Carvajal on the right, Varane, Ramos, and Mendy. Mendy is a very solid player, in my opinion. Because I think if you have the ability to start over Marcelo, then I think you're a good player.
The thing is, how can you bench Marcelo, bro? That guy just balls every year, bro.
No.
I'll be honest with you, Marcelo can't defend for shit. But going forward, Marcelo is better than a lot of left wingers in the world.
In my opinion.
Well, back to the win they had against Eibar. One guy I really wanted to point out that is the most underrated player for me is Benzema.
Yeah, I know.
If you saw that pass he gave to Hazard and then Ramos scored.
I know.
Benzema is literally He's everywhere. He's on the wing. He drops in. He goes in the box. My man can finish. My man can dribble. My man can pass. Benzema is the key to this team up top. Not the whole team, but up top he is. I think if Hazard gets into shape and starts performing how he is, he's gonna do well. Hazard had a really good game, but the thing I didn't like was that he was on the right side a lot.
Well, going back to the lineup, we'll see that they have Cruz, Casemiro, Valverde, and Isco in the midfield, and then they have Benzema and Hazard up top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Real for me have potential, but remember they're gonna play the Champions League, as we just saw, is gonna be in August 12th or something like that.
August 7th.
Yeah, Champions League is gonna be in August.
I think
they're down 2-1 from City, so I think if they want to perform well in the Champions League, I'm not saying they're gonna win it. Real really need to get the best out of Hazard for me.
100%.
Because Hazard is for me the best player on their team. On his day, he's one of the best.
He needs to get fit. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, that's his problem. This guy gets freaking fat every year,
and especially now after quarantine. That's Valencia's lineup.
Yeah. So for Valencia, we'll talk about them a bit. They did get destroyed from Atalanta in the Champions League.
What a great game.
I mean,
2 games.
Valencia, they have Rodrigo up top, who I know is a very good player. I think their best player is Parejo. I've watched him in the middle. Very good player.
He's so solid.
So simple as that. Florenzi's not playing, our boy. He's freaking always on the bench for some reason.
Because he's so inconsistent. It's so annoying.
So, what do you got the prediction for Real Valencia? Whoa. I'll be honest with you, I got a comfortable one. I got 2-0 Real.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think I know what they're doing.
I feel like they know what they're doing, but I don't know. Maybe it might be a tie. I feel like it's a tie. Maybe 1-1, 2-2.
Alright. So, that's it for the predictions for midweek action this week.
Yeah.
So, I got a couple of questions for you that I think are going on for... I got a couple of good questions that have been in the soccer news a lot, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, one thing I noticed about that Inter-Napoli game is... This is a question I got. Do you think Lautaro's head is in Barca right now or in Inter?
No, I was actually talking about that yesterday with my dad. Mm-hmm. Lautaro, his head is in Barca. Like, you can just see it.
Bro, because I'll be honest with you, like, when I watched Inter the other day, he looked so, like... disinterested.
I know, he didn't look like he wanted to play.
He made such wrong decisions. Like, there was this point where Lukaku was wide open and he took a shot and there was, like, 3 defenders on him. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
But does Conte realize that? Or does Conte just...
Does
Conte still play him because of that?
Yeah.
Or, like, does he bench him?
I'll be honest with you. You know why he can't bench him? Who the fuck do they have on the bench?
They can always play Lukaku top alone.
With who? Sanchez?
But he can play alone. He doesn't have to play... He doesn't have to have somebody up top with him.
I don't know. But... That's what I think. I think Lautaro's head's in Barca right now.
Yeah.
So, another good question I had for you is, does Dortmund have to keep, like, do they have to keep their star players to win a Bundesliga, or should they build from the future, like Gio Reyna, Throgan Hazard, De Hood, like, players like that to win or do they have to buy bigger players?
Well, you said it before, they sell their players, so once they sell the big players, they have to buy other players, because I don't think they can win it. If they're going to wait to, like, what's it called, for their players to become better and better, then in that case, then look for the future. But why do you have to look for the future? Don't you want to win the Bundesliga now?
Yeah, and they're going to get rid of Sancho, which I think is a big mistake. I know it's down to the player who wants to leave, but I know, like, Dortmund's a big team.
Yeah.
And if you really, like... want to win, you're going to tell Sancho, I'm going to pay you even more to stay here, and I guarantee you we're going to build a bigger team to win the Bundesliga.
Well,
that will make a player stay. Think about what Conte's doing at Inter. He signed Lukaku, and he's like, yo, I'm going to build this team so we can win Serie A. Yeah. Simple as that. Like, I feel like Dortmund's mentality is like Ajax and Roma. Like, they're like, all right, yo, we're going to build you to sell you and make you a better player. Like, they don't even care about
I think that's a dumb...
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Third question, which is my last question for you. Is Griezmann the biggest flop of the year?
Yeah.
Personally, yeah, he is.
No, he is. You can just see... What does he do every game?
Name me a bigger flop this year.
I can't. I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, Hazard is there. He's a flop. But I'll be honest with you, Hazard has done more than Griezmann has.
But, like, there's a lot more flops, don't get me wrong. But the big... Like, he's a big flop because he's a big player.
Yeah, I thought De Ligt was bad at first for Juve, but like he came back up.
Yeah, Griezmann
And
has
you know
not.
what's crazy about Griezmann is that it's not like he's going to a different league.
He's exactly.
I get you're playing for Barca, and don't get me wrong, they play him on the left wing. He's not a left winger. The guy's a center forward.
Yeah.
He's a center forward and attacking midfielder. The big thing is you knew what you were going to. Messi is on that team. Messi takes charge of that team. When he was at Atletico, bro, this guy was carrying them.
Do you think it has something to do with Messi?
Yeah, I don't think they like each other.
No, I don't think so either. I think he has that like.
I think
in his
Messi's
mind.
like, fuck this guy. He got me out of the World Cup. Like, bro.
Yeah, I think so. I think Messi has something to do with Griezmann not playing well.
I don't know, bro.
I think so.
But yeah, honestly, I think Griezmann's been the biggest flop. And personally, for me, he should leave this summer. I know some people are like, oh, give him time. No, bro. How old is he? Griezmann's like,
he's still young.
Like 26, 27.
He's young.
Around there. Griezmann, for me, like, you gotta go to, for me, he should go to PSG. I know he doesn't like playing in France, but PSG would be a good team for him. Think about it. Cavani's leaving. And Icardi, I don't know, like, you never know what you're gonna get from Icardi.
I like Icardi. I think he's gonna score for them a lot.
All right, so
I have questions for you too.
All right.
The first question I want to ask you is Ronaldo the most important player for Juve?
No.
Why?
I don't think Ronaldo's the most important player for Juve, because I'll tell you something. Ronaldo is 35 years old, right? For me, their most important player is actually another 35-year-old, but it's Chiellini.
Yeah.
Chiellini is the most important player of Juventus. I'll give you straight up facts. Juve played Barca in the 2015 final. Juve had one of their best, if not their best team of the last decade.
But
Chiellini didn't play. He was injured.
Yep.
Juve freaking... How many times has Chiellini missed the game for Juve, and it's cost them so much?
I think the year after that they played Bayern and they still lost because they didn't have.
Chiellini didn't play against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And I think he really they would have done well that year too. But
I think so.
I don't think Ronaldo's the most important player for Juve, but Ronaldo for me is the best player at Juve. There's a difference. Yeah. Ronaldo will score. He'll do everything for the team, but if you're talking about most important, I think Chiellini. I know De Ligt and Bonucci are really good defenders, but for me, Chiellini's world class. He's like on Ramos, Van Dijk level, like, you know.
Chiellini, I think he's better, but okay. Well, let's not get into that. So, let's say Arsenal does beat Man City. Mm-hmm. Do they have what it takes to either get into top four, get to become better this year, or get into top four next year?
Do they have what it takes? Yes, they do. Will they? No.
Yeah, okay. Why?
Arsenal have what it takes to make the top four. They have Aubameyang, who for me is the best striker in the league this year. Mm-hmm. They have Pepe, who's been a flop, but you could tell he's a good player. Yeah. You have Lacazette, who's had a slow start, but I feel like he's going to come back up. Ozil, Xhaka, Ceballos. You got good players. They got good players on the bench too. Saka, Martinelli. Like, Arsenal have talent. They can make the top four because Tottenham are not playing good this year. United, you never know what you're going to get from United. Yeah, you're Leicester could fall off. You never know. Yeah. But what's the main concern? Everyone knows this. They can't fucking defend. Arsenal can't defend. They have David Luiz, Socrates, Chamber. Like, come on, bro. You need some good-ass defenders.
No, you're right.
Arsenal, for me, they have what it takes, but they're not going to make top four.
All right. I can agree with that. Yeah. My last question is, after all this that happened for, like, who's your favorite for UCL?
I was thinking about this the other day. So I said Bayern, right? Yeah. Bayern are Bundesliga champions. Bayern are the only ones who have been playing.
Yeah.
But Bundesliga ends, I think, in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then everyone else is playing. Bayern's not going to be playing for another month.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to say right here, there's no favorite for the Champions League.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Bayern, I would say, was the favorite, but now with going on for a month not playing, you have Barca, you have Real, you have Juve, you have City. These teams can win. And then you also have PSG who are not playing, which I think that's going to throw them off. They're not going to win. So I think it's all to play. Personally, I think the best fitted team to win is Bayern. So if you could say that's my favorite, they're still going to be my favorite. But to challenge them, I'm going City, Juve, and Barca.
So forget about favorite. Just forget about favorites to win. Who do you think is gonna win? Like, who do you think? Just say your team right now. You think Bayern?
I think Bayern's gonna win
Really?
the Champions League. Yeah, listen. I said Juve could win, but they're just not proving me like that they can win.
No,
For
you're
me,
right.
Bayern's winning the
No,
Champions League
I
this
can
year.
agree with that too.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we're gonna wrap it up right here, and let's hope we get our predictions right. And
We'll come back to you for another video.
yeah,
in, a few days.
we'll come back to review everything and predict the next games on the weekend. So this is the midweek preview, and thank you for watching.
Peace out.